You're looking to move to Orlando in 2023? Well, I'm going to give you 7 steps that you need to know when moving to Orlando. And if you take them in order, I promise you, you're going to arrive living that better life. What's up, everyone? My name is Cameron Hodge. On this channel, I talk all about moving to Orlando and living here and making that best life when you get here. I absolutely love it. I drop videos for you every single week. Make sure to hit subscribe, the like, bell icon, so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Also, being a licensed real estate agent, me and my team here are dedicated to helping you with the real estate decisions on moving to Orlando, Florida. We absolutely love it. We've all moved here ourselves, and we love to help you make that choice yourself and do it the right way, because God knows that we have made so many mistakes when we all moved out here ourselves. So some are popping up below, so you can get a hold of me, call, text, email, whatever you need to do. Or if you want to skip that line, go ahead and schedule a Zoom call down below. It'll be directly with me to help you create that plan when it comes to moving to Orlando. So if you're moving to Orlando in 2023, I think there's a certain number of steps you need to take when it comes to moving to Orlando. And it's a thought process, right? Like A to Z. Because you don't just wake up one morning and say, I'm going to move to Orlando this year. Like there's a step and a process to it that you should take, and one that I kind of took when me and my family moved out here. But it's one of those things where I want to make sure that you have an idea of what steps you should take, so you can kind of be aware and make sure you check all those boxes. So you make sure that if you are moving this year to Orlando, you not only know everything, but you think everything through in the right order, so that way you know you are ready when you get here, because we all move here for a better life, and I want to make sure you do that when you get here. So the first thing you always need to do when it comes to moving to Orlando is, you got to figure out, it's so cliche, but it still, I think, holds true. It's kind of figure out why you're moving to Orlando. And it sounds ridiculous, but I'll be honest with you, like when I lived in San Diego before we came here, I would have left in a heartbeat. Like when I got out of the Marine Corps, I would have been like, deuces, I'm gone, I'm out, I don't want to stay here anymore. Obviously, for my wife, she was born and raised in San Diego. That is not an easy move for her, but it finally hit a point after, rules and laws and breakdown to the point where it's just like, we're living in a condo, a 2-bedroom condo in northern San Diego, not even in the heat of anything. And she just woke up and was like, I think I've had enough. And it was crazy to me. It was crazy to be like, wow, I felt kind of sad, because I felt like as her husband that I should have stood up, and maybe I could have done more. Maybe I could have done better to be in that situation. But it came down to it where it's like, I knew I didn't love living here, but I did it for her and her family, because I wouldn't have married her if I knew that I wasn't going to be staying there, right? But she just had enough, and we started to look like, where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? And she's obsessed with Disney. I could care less about it, but she's obsessed with it. So the decision was made. She's like, why don't we go travel to Orlando? Figure it out. I'm like, all right, let's do it. We took a cross-country road trip with 2 kids all the way to Orlando. At that time, 2 kids. I got 3 now, but all the way out to Orlando. And wow. We loved it. It had been 10 years since I had last been in Orlando. And it changed a lot in those 10 years, like any city would. But I think for the better. And we talked about it. We sat down. We figured out, okay, if we're going to leave, this is the place to do it. Like, the airport is an international airport. People come here all the time. So it's easier for us to get family out here if we want to pay for flights for her mom to come out here during the winter, her uncle, her Theo. Like there are so many options for us that we were like, you know what? We're moving out here to give our kids a better life, but we don't necessarily have to sacrifice everything that we knew and loved. Because, and like, what's funny is once we moved here, everyone wanted to come here, and they reach out to us. Oh, when can we come and stay in Orlando? Because we want to go to Disney World and have a free place to stay. Yeah, trust me. Like, we lived, like 30 minutes from people, and they never wanted to see us. But all of a sudden you come to a place everyone wants a vacation to, and they hit you up all the time. It's funny and annoying at the same time. So I promise you, your biggest problem if you get a regular house is going to be saying no to me. The second thing you should do is figure out your employment. Once you know you're coming here, the next thing I think is to kind of figure out your job situation. Are you like me and you have your own business and you just kind of figure out the legal side and you are starting from scratch, but are you able to walk away from your business where you're making money already? Are you able to run both places at the same time like I chose to? Like what are you trying to do? What are you able to do? Because obviously it's different for everyone. Are you going to lose money when you get your job relocated to Orlando? Is your company already in Orlando, and are they open to you relocating here? Are you working a virtual position? Do you need to find a virtual position, but in the same fields, that way you can still qualify for a house? All of this stuff plays into it. And obviously, if you have a lot of questions about what you can even qualify for to kind of dictate your decision, reach out to me and the team. We are here to help you work through that. But that's one of the important things I think you need to step two. Is you can look at where to live, all these great houses, and I can afford a house now. You got to make sure that you get your employment locked in, because no matter buy or rent, you're going to need that employment set up so that way you can show that income. So that's the first thing I would do, is make sure that's established and you already have that plan. For some of you, it might be a no-brainer. You might have already gone down this road, or you'd be like, yeah, Cameron, I work virtually, so it doesn't matter where I live. That's awesome. And I work with all types of people, and I think that's great if you don't have to worry about this step. The third thing I think you need to do then is you need to make a trip to Orlando. Now, I know this isn't an option for everyone. I have worked with so many clients who aren't physically here in Orlando, and they do virtual tours. Like, I'll get on FaceTime, Zoom, it doesn't matter. And I will show you the house, and I will tell you every negative thing about that house or condo or whatever it is that we're viewing. Because I want to make sure that you know, even if you can't physically be here, that you have someone you trust telling you everything that's wrong. And if you're okay with everything that's wrong, probably a little bit more extra than it needs to be, that when you get here, you're going to love it. But making sure you work with someone who's able to help you with that. But I do encourage everyone to come make a discovery trip, as I call it. You want to come out here, even for a weekend, is you make sure you have a discovery trip and you travel around. Like, okay, where are you going to live? Where would you be working? Are you willing to drive this distance? Okay, you're going to drive to this distance during rush hour. Does this make sense? And if you have enough time this year before you're moving out, again, this is how you reach out. You can just even schedule a Zoom call if it's immediate. Like, I've worked rush orders. Like, even if you're like, Cameron, I'm moving now, I got enough time to do a discovery trip and figure something out and move in a couple months. I've had that too, and that's okay. I'm here to work as fast as you need to work. But you need to make sure, like, what I always love to do is we sit down. Like, I have another one coming up today at the time of recording this video. We're going to sit down. We're going to go through all of their needs. What are they looking for in a community? What's their budget? Run through everything, and then I'm going to give them what I call a hot sheet. Hey, these are the top communities we talked about. Inside those communities, here's some businesses to go check around the areas. Here's some key neighborhoods that you can go visit. Here's some random, addresses to go view out. Here's some local parks and things like that to go check out. Like, go check out. Because obviously when you come out here, sure, you can have a little bit of fun, but it's probably gonna be a lot of work. You're discovering, you're traveling, you're looking around. And then at the end of your trip, you give me or my member of my team a call, and you sit down and you say, okay, here's what I thought. And then we go through everything and we narrow that list down even further, and boom, there's your key areas to look at when it comes to living here. And this is an important step. If you can fit it in, I encourage you to do it. But if you can't, that's okay. I'm more than happy to narrow that list down for you. And I know I can still help you find an area that you're going to love, regardless of whether you come out and make that discovery trip or not. Okay, the next step is, are you buying or are you renting? So a lot of people are super encouraged to rent, but I don't think they always realize how expensive rent is. Right now in Orlando, average 2-bedroom, $1,500 a month, average 1-bedroom apartment, just over $1,000. Average home price is $360,000 right now. Average interest rate, you're sitting around 5.5%, 6%. It varies. It changes by the day. So that number's gonna be hard to give you locked in, but you can always reach out. We're happy to talk about that with you. The thing with Orlando, personally, it does make more sense to purchase. You're gonna be building that equity and not paying someone else. But you have to understand that you have to decide, are you renting or are you purchasing? Are you looking to stay for long term? Are you looking to try it for a year and then leave? You have to kind of sit down and kind of figure out, what am I trying to do? And if you're looking at like a 3 to 5 year minimum, purchasing can be a great route. And some people might think they can't qualify for anything, and they're like, well, I can't qualify anyways, I'm on Section 8 or whatever. Like, if you have income, and that Section 8 benefit could potentially help you qualify as well. You just have to, it depends on your situation, what's going on, and we're happy to work with that. But that's an important decision to make, is what are you going to do? Because that's the next step, is start your home search. And obviously for renting, it's simple. If you already probably know, you look for rentals, you figure it out, you make applications, get one applied, boom, you're done. If you're looking to purchase, obviously you schedule that Zoom call, you reach out to us, we set up a time, we sit down as a team, and we help figure out what you qualify for, get you your pre-approval, and we start searching. Day in and day out. You're searching, you're using our app to search for homes. We're searching the ground looking for you. We're looking for homes off market. We find the perfect connection and we tour those homes. Even if you're not physically here, that's okay. We will tour video tours of the home. We will get you eyes in that property and we will get it done. Then we're fighting for you, everything like that. At the current time, 2023, as it stands right now, you might be able to get a little bit of negotiation room. But as the year progresses, it's hard to say what's going to happen. I mean, rates could go down. If they go down too far, my fear is we start to see high competition again. And that's kind of fearful because home prices shoot up and things like that. Right now, home prices have been going down in Orlando. Right now, $360,000 average purchase price, but you can find cheaper than that. So you have to understand this could be a good time to get into it. So if you are moving this year, the plan starts now. Like if you know you're moving in 2023, you got to start this process now, because there's so much that goes into it. Maybe there's some things to fix on the credit before you get involved and before you close on the home so that we can get a better interest rate. Like there's so much that goes into it. Maybe you need a little bit extra to get that down payment. All of this is very important. That's why you need to reach out to us so that we can kind of create that plan. We can hit the ground running to make sure me and my team can do the best we can for you, so you get the best, not only experience, but you also get the best home that you want. I mean, especially if you're like me, when we came here, we went from a small 2-bedroom condo that was like 900 square feet to all of a sudden we have like a 5-bed, 3-bath house, right? For a little bit more than what we paid for the condo. It's crazy. It's just absolutely insane, the difference, especially when you're coming from those expensive metros. So I encourage everyone to, hey, live life to the fullest. Come out, get your full experience, and really live that life when you come out here. And the last step is kind of a large one. It kind of plays into everything already we've talked about. But once you got your rental agreement or you got your home in contract, it's lining up when you're coming to Orlando. I promise you this, like I've seen this happen so many times, especially when someone is kind of getting everything together last minute. That's okay. But it's where something happens, right? Like inspection falls through, or like some other issue like comes up to where now when you leave where you're living and where you're coming doesn't line up, especially if you have a home to sell in a different state. I promise you, even if you reach out to us, I have connections in every single state. And I do that because not all professionals understand how to help someone who's relocating across state lines. I've been in the military. I've done it a lot. I understand who needs to be helping you, because if we don't line up both ends of your move, it can just fall apart and crumble. And the last thing you need to do is show up to get keys for your home and you can't get them yet. I've seen it happen before, and like I promise you, I fight as hard as I can, me and my team, to make sure that doesn't happen. But I'm not going to say that it never happens. But if we do everything we can up front, that can be avoided. So you have to make sure that you get everything lined up for when you can get into the home. And remember, once you close on a home, like you're not making payments until like a month and a half, 2 months after you close on that home, because you're prepaying at the closing costs. So if that's the case, like you have a little bit of extra time, even if you close a little sooner on the property before you officially get here. But it's important to make sure you line that up. And then obviously that's the whole moving process. That's the final step, is getting you and your family to Orlando. Once you're here, start exploring, start getting a feeling. Reach out to me, say, Cameron, I'm here. We got it. We got in our place. Thank you so much. What's next? And then we get to have the fun conversation of like, well, this is what me and my family have done for fun. Hey, these are some cool restaurants we've gone to. Then you get to really experience and start exploring and obviously unpacking. We all hate it, but it has to be done. But literally, if you follow these steps in order, I promise you, it will get you to where you need to be fast and in the right way. Because, I mean, if you miss any one of those steps, they're all kind of important. And it's really going to put you in a place to where you're just going to struggle when it comes to moving here, because you're just not going to have everything ready to go. You're going to miss something. You're going to be scrambling last minute, and that's no bueno. That's not okay, because it's just going to hurt you. It's going to make you struggle. It's going to hurt your family in the process. It's not a good thing, and no one wants that, especially me. And like I said, if you need help with any one of these steps, I am literally just a phone call, text, email, or even a Zoom call scheduled away from sitting down and just having an open conversation. And it's not obligatory. Like, I will sit down with you, and if we're not a good fit, that's okay. I'll let you know. Be like, hey, I don't think I can help you. I've done it before, and I'm okay with that. As long as I give you a piece of information that you can take away to help you, that's all I really care about. So reach out. I hope you got value in this video. I hope I gave you some ideas of what you should do if you're moving to Orlando this year. And I encourage you that if you need any more information, reach out to me and the team. We will create a solid game plan for you to make sure every one of these steps happens to the T, and you get here and you really start enjoying your new life. So hope you have value in this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.